of the proceeds went to this campaign for helping kids create their legacy. So she's doing a pitch competition, a business pitch competition. She's doing a youth book anthology project where kids will be sharing their story, and she's doing a conference. So good stuff. You want to make sure that you connect with her. I got to shout out all these folks who are joining us on Facebook Live. Renee Beavers, thanks for being here. Roz Knighton, Warfield, thank you for being here. Carter Chris White, thank you. Oh, you want to come on the show? Hey guys, if you want to come on the show, you just got to send an email to assistant@CherylWoodandPowers.com and just type in the subject line Impact the World Radio, and we will get you on the show. Lynn Whitehead, thank you for being here. Laditra Gail Robinson, thanks for being here. Crystal White, thank you for being here. Deb Moss, Robin Ransom, Renelli Williams, Nika, Tawana, Lakita, thank you guys for being here. Please share this out, as well as Sheila Brooks, thanks for being here. And last but not least, our goal partners. Amina McWhirter. First of all, I'm giving her a huge shout out because she recently had a surgical procedure, and I'm hoping that you get well soon. She's the founder of Love by the Handles Incorporated, which is a 501c3 nonprofit community-based organization that serves individuals who are in transition in the DC area. Their goal is to provide a gift of love and financial support for individuals who are in their transitional stages of life. I've done some work with her and her organization, and I'm telling you, you know how we say impact the world with your unique gift? Everybody has a gift. Everyone has a lane of brilliance that you are intended to dominate
Absolutely.
in. And that is her lane. We did an event together last year, and it was women who had come out of domestic violence relationships and situations. And you could just feel the energy of how much they rely on her and how much she provides support to them. And at the end of the night, it was only like 4 hours, Larry. And I was just like, girl, I couldn't do this. I can't handle it. I'm not equipped for this. And that's why every person has to walk in their divine assignment and their God-given gift, because what's meant for you is meant for you. What's meant for me is meant for me.
Absolutely.
And I can't try to play in your lane, and you can't try to play in my lane. So all of us have to walk in our own unique lane of brilliance, and she is doing that. If you want to learn more about the community initiatives that she's doing, you can check her out at lovebythehandles.org. And last but not least, the amazing Robin Rogers. She was actually here with us a couple weeks ago on the show live, talking about her upcoming symposium, the Whole Woman Symposium. Every time I say that name, it just gives me goosebumps, because she's addressing the whole woman, our health and wellness, our finances, our careers, our businesses, our spirituality. All of those things are such an important part of us thriving as women in life. She's having her conference on September 8th, in just a couple weeks, from 10 to 5, right in the local DMV region. If you want to learn more about tickets, go to the www.2018.eventbrite.com. Again, the www.2018.eventbrite.com, and snatch you up a ticket. When she was with us a couple weeks ago, I think she was down to like 10 tickets left.
Oh, wow.
And she's going to be sold out. So hopefully, if you want to be there, you can be in the space and grab a ticket. And good morning to you, Kawan Fitch Webster, as well. So now let's move on to our first guest, who is sitting here, this handsome young man sitting next to me. And hopefully I can say that if my husband's watching. But you know, you fine, hubby. You fine. Okay. So I'm sitting next to this amazing man who's next to me. Let me give him his proper introduction. They call him Dr. Larry White, Sr. We got to add the senior on there, right?
Oh, wow.
Mr. White, Dr. White, has appeared on various local television programs and radio stations speaking about leadership, mentoring, and entrepreneurship. He has had the opportunity of working with Ambassador Shabazz, Dr. Ben Carson, Angela Winbush, Charlie Wilson, Marla Gibbs, Jennifer Holliday, just to name a few. He has been the recipient of a number of prestigious awards, including the 2012 NAACP's President's Award and the 2014 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Dream Keepers Award. Both awards acknowledge his continued initiatives for the advancement of the community. He sits on numerous board of directors, 100 Black Men of Maryland Incorporated and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Incorporated. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Cheryl. I appreciate that. You got me over here feeling a little like I did a few things.
You have done more than a few things. Look, let's just get to it. You are known in the DMV as the go-to man for anything and all things leadership, entrepreneurship, business, and networking. Like, where did that come from? I believe people do things that they have a passion for. Where did the passion come from?
Well, you know what? First of all, Cheryl, I want to thank you for allowing me to be here
Absolutely.
On Impact the World Radio. To have a platform just to say a few things. I want to say this. January 9th of this year, it started off very rough. My mom passed. And my dad passed a year before that.
Wow.
And I went into depression. But you talked about the passion, because I was just talking to this beautiful young lady here, and I have an acronym that I use, LIP, Leadership, Integrity, and Passion. And my mom and dad always instilled in me to, whatever you're going to do, be passionate about it. You know, there were things that I would do in life that I wasn't passionate about, so I just kind of had a hobby. But when I became a business owner, and I knew I could make money as a business owner, but I felt like even being a business owner, I needed to give back to the community. So I had to be passionate about connecting with people, and I've had an opportunity to work with you on a few workshops, and you've blessed me with your Playtime is Over conference. So I've learned quite a bit from you, and I just want you to know that it is a blessing to be here because your sister was one of my first clients.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Cherie, we shouting you out, Cherie. Cherie, I'm good. The Recharge Strategist.
And to her event that she does every year in Baltimore, I'm the one that supplies most of the water for that. I haven't been able to make it the past 3 or 4 years because I seem to always have something going on with Cherie, but the water's always in the driveway and she pick it up. So I want to just shout out to the twin powers there. Y'all have done some amazing things. Absolutely. But I'm just passionate about things, and it motivates me. Even if I had to work for free for a little while, your passion will get you where you need to be based on your God-given talent, as you mentioned earlier.
So were your parents entrepreneurs, or did they have an entrepreneurial spirit? Did you see that growing up? Like when did you get kind of that first inspiration for entrepreneurship? Because all of us know entrepreneurship is not for everyone. It's just not. You have to be cut from a certain cloth. You have to have, really good time management skills. You have to be disciplined with your time. You have to be, I tell women, and a lot of women aren't taught to be hunters, but you got to be a hunter to get out and get what you want. So where did you first see that and kind of connect with everything that it takes to be an entrepreneur and say, I want that?
My parents were 9-to-5 folks that worked in a steel mill back in Gary, Indiana, and there were no entrepreneurs in my home. It was around the 12-year mark in my military career where I was always smarter than everybody. And not so much book smart, but I could just figure things out quickly. And I just got tired of making other people a lot of money.
Come on.
And I said, wow, I think I can do this by myself. So I started VIP Events Concierge in 2012. And my dad, when I got my first sponsorship check from Shirley Lou, $5,000. Thank you, Cheryl. My dad goes, "You're not a drug dealer, are you?" I said, "No, Dad. This is called entrepreneurship."
I love it.
But he asked me to come back and work in the steel mill with him, but I was not mechanically inclined, good with my hands. But I knew I had good work ethics from my parents. They taught me always to be kind and customer service. And the company, VIP Events Concierge, the French word concierge means to be of service. So in Baltimore, right in Glen Burnie, I started the company. But entrepreneurship just became, I had always had leadership skills. I was an officer in the military. I would lead 30, 40, 50, 200 people, Persian Gulf. So I said, I can do this. So when I started in Baltimore, I was afraid to fail. And what is fear? False
evidence appearing real.
Absolutely. And I said, you know what? I just got to hang in there. So I did work for free for about a year, and I wasn't sure if it was going to work for me. But around 2013, 2014, I started seeing an ROI, return on my investment with my company. 3 years in business, we were a regional brand. And I was only looking to be local at the 5-year mark. At the 5-year mark, we were a national brand. So I've taken some bumps and bruises. I've only had to refund 2 clients' money in the past 6 years. Okay,
Amen.
And I like to say that because I focus on getting it right. You know, when you mentioned Charlie Wilson, Angela Winbush, working with those folks, a lot of folks don't know that Angela Winbush had just was a cancer survivor prior to working with her, and she was very demanding. She wanted her hotel and her car pulled up at a certain place before she hit the stage if the microphones wouldn't work. And so you have to be very detailed for what I do, because if you mess it up one time, your name is mud. You know, you won't call you. So I realized at the 5-6 year mark it was for me, and I've been around the country on tour teaching business workshops, and still following you every once in a while when I can. But yeah, I was a self-made entrepreneur, and now I'm teaching my children. You know, I'm sending them to college, but I'm letting them know Daddy can hire you, you know, when you get out of college and things like that.
I love that. I mean, there's so many pivotal things that you said in that little dissertation, if you will. A part of it, I think, was that sometimes it's what you have innately that you can use to create a business and monetize it, right? So some of us, we have certain gifts that is just, it's in us. But then also you can take your life experiences and connect that with your God-given gifts and create something very, very powerful. So you took your God-given gifts and you incorporated that with some of the leadership skills and things that you learned when you were in the service and what you watched your parents do, and you knew what you wanted and what you didn't want, and you took all those things and combined it to say, okay, I can create something that serves other people, but also that I can monetize. And we say that because there are a lot of people who follow the show who are new and emerging entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
You guys have to excuse me, like I'm really struggling with my throat, but who are new and emerging entrepreneurs. And the reality is, you may not know the exact path, but you said you got started, you weren't sure, you did it anyway. You're like, okay, let's test it out. You did it for a whole year for free. So what is it that you need to take away from what Larry just said that's going to support you in moving forward in your business? Maybe you got to give some stuff away. And don't be afraid to give some stuff away. I believe that it will always come back to you tenfold.
Absolutely.
If you stick with it, if you're consistent, give a little something, you get a little something. And you never know who's watching, right?
That's true.
Because how did you get those connections with, not specifically, but talk about how you were able to get the connections to work with these individuals if you didn't already have them on your Rolodex. Like, how did that manifest?
Well, I lived in Virginia Beach for like 10 years, and I was, from a Navy standpoint, military, I was always the go-to guy. Helicopters flying over the ship. I just was this geek when it came down to getting it done, because in the military, a lot of times, if you mess up, you could get somebody killed. So you got to be. So when I came up to Maryland, I couldn't understand, like, why didn't my following come up here with me? And what was I going to do? And so I joined the church, and I became a men's leader at the church. And I really had some really big ideas. I don't think the church was ready. So I joined the 100 Black Men, and that's when it started.
Wow.
When I joined the 100 Black Men, I realized, because I was raised by a Caucasian man. My mother was African American, and my African American father, I didn't really know him. And so when I joined the 100 Black Men, I was trying to see what I was missing in a black home from a father's standpoint. Well, when I joined, I became a board member in 30 days, and I ended up running an organization. And next thing you know, I'm on TV with Senator Ben Cardin, Senator Barbara Mikulski doing outreach. And the following just kind of came, because by that time I was doing the same thing as an event planner with the 100 Black Men, and the light came on and said, it's time for you to branch out on your own. I recruited about 50 guys. I doubled our membership within 6 months, and I realized that I needed to go and do my own business. And then I turned out and had most of those members in the organization be my clients.
There you go.
So at the end of the day, it was when I became a board member for the 100 Black Men, because that platform got me on a national stage. And next thing you know, I'm at the Reginald F. Lewis Museum working with Michael Baisden, and it just kept going on. And you saw the post, probably, I was trying to pump it up coming up to today, but working with so many celebrities. They're just like me and you, and you're a celebrity as well, of course. But you have to have a certain amount of, professionalism, that leadership, and that integrity and passion. So it really started with the 100 Black Men, and I owe them a huge favor, gratitude, because those men taught me how to be a real man. They taught me how to work in the community, and we were intricate in getting the Prince George's chapter up and running. So shout out to Emmerich Peace and Walter Kirkland, all those guys.
Absolutely. Doing that real estate. He killing the game. Well, I love it. Again, everything that you're saying is just resonating with me, because there's so many underlying points to what you're saying. One of the things I take from that is that you just got started. You went seeking something. And so you sometimes, a lot of us are waiting thinking that greatness is going to fall in our lap. Greatness is never going to come chasing you. It's not going to fall in your lap. You have to get out and just get started. And getting started means sometimes you're not going to know all the answers. You're not going to know how. You're not going to know how the dots are connected. Is that somebody really calling for us? All right. It sounds like somebody's trying to call into the show. Are you calling to ask a question or give a comment, or are you calling to listen to the show? They're probably calling to listen to the show. So for you guys who want to watch the show, listen to the show, you have to go to voxwave.com, voxwav.com. If you want to call in with a comment or ask a question for Larry, that's when you dial in to 240-719-2560. I'll give that again. It's 240-719-2560. So again, going back to just getting started, and you don't have to know everything. You don't have to know the full how I'm going to get there, how I'm going to do something different, how I'm going to become who I'm meant to be. Just get started. Right. And then you talked about something I think is very critical, which is getting connected to a community. A community of support who can take you farther than you would ever take yourself, and who can expose you to things that otherwise you wouldn't be exposed to. So your community and your inner circle is so important, and sometimes they will actually see greatness in you that you don't see in yourself yet, and they'll extend opportunities to you that will allow you to be exposed to, wow, this, you know what, this is something I really love, I really enjoy, maybe I can do it on my own. So I love all of those pieces, for me, the underlying parts of your story and how you've gotten to where you are. Now, I know you have some amazing things coming up. Again, you are always moving and shaking. Every time I see you on social media, you're doing something in the community with entrepreneurs. You have like 3 exciting things coming up. You have something coming up with the CBC, Congressional Black Caucus. You have a book project, if you want to talk about that, and you have a cruise. So why don't you break down each one of those things, and what's the mission and kind of vision behind each, and how can people find out more?
Well, thank you again, Cheryl, and I wanted to just shout out to you because a couple of years ago, you and I both were running for Steve Harvey Neighborhood Awards, and I was really praying that you made it, and Stan, shout out to Stan Richards, he got in there.
Yes.
But you are so advocate for building the community and things of that nature, so we've been running in some of the same circles, so shout out to you, Cheryl, there. 4th Annual Congressional Black Caucus, September 10th. You know, when I first got here to D.C., because I'm originally from Gary, Indiana, and I was like, what's CBC all about? And I got to tell you, the informative stuff happens in the daytime, like the workshops and things like that. After 5, it turns into a party, and you're trying to figure out what's really going on, and I was very upset of what I saw. Even President Barack Obama in his first term, he said, NAACP, Office of Civil Rights, you know, Congressional Black Caucus, I want to see y'all do better. What comes out of CBC? Town hall meetings, voter registration. He took a lot of flack for it, but he showed them. He said, look, I'm going to start my Brother's Keeper initiative. This is what you guys should be doing. I took heed to that, and I said, you know, I'm going to do my own reception. And people like, Larry, you got a red carpet, you got speakers, music, but we talk about great topics like Darius A. Stanton, you know him very well. He's going to break down the significance of Congressional Black Caucus, how that is significant to small business owners like you and I, because it's all about legislation. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about health and wellness, like this beautiful young lady here, because your health is your wealth. And we talk about all these different topics, and we're going to award some folks. Like I'm always into giving. So the Honorable Carl Snowden will get the Lifetime Achievement Award this year. We've worked with Donna Edwards. We've got Aisha Brayboy as a speaker this year, and she's going to talk about not only addressing the school to prison pipeline, but how to plug it. Okay, and now we have Angela also Brooks and Aisha working together. People, because let's face it, in most cities and counties, African American male like myself get locked up. We go to jail a lot longer than our Caucasian counterparts. So we break down a lot of those things and try to educate people. Hey, you're going to listen to some great music, you're going to see some great speakers, but you're going to leave away from caucus very educated. So Congressional Black Caucus, September 10th, 6 to 9 at Chef Jeff's Restaurant, Upper Northwest.
Fantastic.
You're on the VIP list, so make sure you can make it if you're in town.
And if someone wants to attend, where can they get a ticket? Where can they learn more?
Absolutely. Great segue. VIP events with an S. That's VIPeventsconcierge.com/upcoming events. General admission is $25, VIP is $40, and we look forward to seeing everybody in the building. This is our 4th year doing it, and I got to tell you, we start a couple of days before caucus, and we set the tone for the week. We let people know what's going on, so that's September 10th. And then let's just talk briefly about the cruise. Baltimore to Bermuda, your sister's going. All right, and we have a partnership that we have created with Bermuda Tourism, and we're going over there to deliver backpacks, iPads, surfaces to kids. We've partnered with 2 schools, so we're going over there with a purpose, and that's next year, June 8th through the 13th. All right.
So you got time, guys. You have time to plan.
You got time. Our ship is called Grandeur of the Seas. I've done so many events at spas and different places. You've seen me out there on the beach. I've done some events, but I've never been on the water with one. So one of my colleagues said, Larry, you ever thought about doing an event on the ship? I said, no, I'm good on land.
I'm good on land.
Yeah, because I was in the Navy for 12 years and I had a lot of sea time and I didn't want to see any more water, to be honest with you. And they said, Larry, this is not a boat, this is a ship. So we got all white party on day 1. We've got empowerment workshop called Recharge. Your sister's doing that one.
Fantastic.
And to round it out, we have people from Texas coming, California, and again, the payment plans have started already. That's next year, June 8th through the 13th. But they can also go to my website, VIPeventsconcierge.com, and get all of the information. And we're cruising with a purpose.
I love it. And we have all these folks who are watching with us live on Facebook Live. We're shouting you out. I want to let me scroll back a little bit because we got a lot of folks who have tuned in. We're going to give a shout out to Rhonda Trott. Thank you for being here. Liddell Wilson, Amy Barnes. Hey, sis, haven't seen you in a while. Amy Taylor, Latanya Winters. Kimberly, how are you? All the way from Hawaii. Let's see. Kaisha? I know I jacked that up. LaShawn, welcome. Rosa Bradley, thank you for being here. Cybella, thank you for being here. Kim Gore, thank you for always being here with us. Yes, Kimberly says aloha. Kent Wade, love you, Cheryl, love you back. Eric Cornell, haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for being here. Betty, thank you for being here. My mentor, Cheryl, I love it. Ben Collins is watching. Ladrine, who's one of our partners, platinum partners. Joan Wilson, Corner Woman, thanks for being here. Ruth Lawson, Dr. Mary Huntley, Evie Edwards, Monica Brunson, Andrea Carter. Thank you guys so much for being here. So let's wrap this up. So you have the Congressional Black Caucus, that's September the 10th. You have the Bermuda Cruise, which is June 8th through the 13th of 2019, which you guys can learn more about both of those things by going to VIPeventsconcierge.com.
Correct.
/upcoming events.
That's correct.
Come on now.
Good,
that brain working today, boy. It's working today. And then last but certainly not least, this exciting part, which I'm cheesing from ear to ear because, you know, I'm a huge proponent of people sharing their stories and their subject matter expertise and their experiences with the world, whether they are speaking it or writing it. So talk about this project that you have coming up.
I saved it here for you. I am going to announce the name of the book right here on your show for the very
Come
first
on
time.
now, y'all. This is exclusive.
It is. And I wanted to give you a shout out because I heard you speak one day and you told me your daughter was like 10, 11 and she had wrote 2 or 3 books.
Yes.
And I was hosting all these book signings across the country last year, Newark, Delaware, Chicago, Atlanta. And I was wondering why the Lord didn't allow me to finish my tour in Houston, and Hurricane Harvey came, and I would realize why I was diverted up here. But I kept asking the Lord, I said, Lord, I have a story. I'm ready to write my book. And this was over the past couple of years because I'm having all these events and I'm paying all the bills and everybody else selling their book on my dime, right?
Hey, you ain't selling nothing, right? You ain't selling no books.
And the Lord said, it's not your time yet. And obviously sometimes he'll say yes, sometimes he'll say no, sometimes he'll say wait. So I didn't realize that he was really, really preparing me for something. And I mean, when my mom and dad passed, they came into my dreams and said, listen, go ahead and finish your doctorate degree because we need you to put Dr. Larry White Sr. on the book. And so the name of the book is called The Ultimate Networker and Entrepreneur. And I'm constantly at networking events trying to build that. I don't go to as many as I used to, but when you're getting started, you really need to attend a lot of networking events to build that audience.
Absolutely.
So the name of the book is called The Ultimate Networker and Entrepreneur, and I just really break down and teach people this is how you need to be running your website, this is how you need to get popular in the right way. And so the book is going to make you laugh, it's going to make you cry. You're going to learn what certifications you need to get to be a professional event planner. You're going to really have a great time. It's for single mothers. It's for married folks. It's for everybody. It's going to be a really good book. I finished chapter 6 last night. And I just want to tell you, as I was reading it, I was like, okay, this is fire. And I want people to be educated. Because, you know, you got some folks, they'll buy your book, but they may never read it. Yeah. I'm guilty of that. I like supporting my people.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I've started reading those books because I'm embarrassed when they say, hey, you bought my book. What do you know about it? And so I need to get better. But I want people not only just to see the cover, because I saw Steve Harvey's cover, and you look at the cover and you want to buy it. So I'm working on the cover right now that way. So when everybody's like, Larry, you keep posting that same picture, I'm telling them it's a branding process because that's the cover of my book.
Absolutely. Let me ask you one question before we, first of all, congratulations because any of you who watch the show, follow me on social media, again, you know that I'm really a huge proponent of people writing their stories, not just articulating, especially in the African American community, we articulate a lot of our stories verbally, but we don't put it in writing.
Sure.
And when you put it in writing, that is a part of your legacy that continues beyond your physical body.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's important because one of two things will happen. If you don't tell your story, either number one, it won't get told, or number two, it'll get told from someone else's perspective.
Correct.
And I believe that I have the right to tell my own story and to tell it from my perspective. I don't want nobody else tell my story. So I love that you are writing about what you know and who you are through your experiences and your expertise in this piece of written work. The one final question that I have for you is, so you are, or you at least you appear to us to be this outgoing go-getter, you articulate yourself very well, you present yourself very well. And in business, networking is critical, since you're a networking guy. What would you say, what advice would you give for someone who struggles with feeling like they have the type of demeanor that's needed to go out? Because technically when you're going out and networking, you're going out and you're meeting a bunch of strangers, right? Mm-hmm. So what advice would you give for someone who considers themselves perhaps more introverted and they don't have that personality, if you will, where it's like, oh, I'm just going to go and just say hello and talk to people? How can they still be an effective networker?
Chapter 2 covers that in the book.
Buy the book. Hashtag buy the book.
And we talk about the introverts, and I tell you, I set up events for folks that may not feel as aggressive. Like, I'm going to speak with this young lady when I leave because I could see there's some synergy there. The bottom line is you got to get out of your comfort zone a little bit. And what I tell folks, join an organization, a Rotary Club, a Chamber of Commerce, because you don't always have to be up front. You can lead from behind. And a lot of times when I'm with my team, I'm a real popular guy, but I know how to take it down and let somebody else enjoy and take the shine. So even though I was aggressive in networking, I still saw the folks like, hey, I'm gonna call you on Monday. I didn't really want to approach you. So I tell people, join an organization, Chamber of Commerce, the 100 Black Men, join an organization, a Greek, if you've got that bachelor's degree and above, join a Greek, because these are people that are going to turn around and support you, because I'll be 50 years old here shortly.
All right.
And I've helped so many people and it didn't come back in return, so I only focus on those folks that are supporting me these days.
Reciprocal relationships. Come on now. Reciprocal relationships.
Chapter 7.
Been there, done that too. Reciprocal. And it's not that you're sitting, look, it's not that you give because you're sitting and waiting for, oh, when you gonna give it back to me. That's not it. Yeah. However, I think that you do have to be wise in noticing when a relationship is not reciprocal, when it's only take from their end, and they're never reciprocating what you're giving. So I think that's critical. So that's y'all got a hashtag buy the book, because, and when is the book released?
About 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
You'll know all about it, because it'll, I want to leave you with this. I wake up in the morning, I know you see my posts and you're like, well, if I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I have a motivational piece I want to start with, because I'm setting you up for something, right? I want you to take a look at the event. And I just was told yesterday I'm getting a podcast show, so you're going to have to come on to that show.
Awesome.
But I got to tell you, it's just really about networking and communicating effectively, okay? And a lot of times, you may have to say something that it's not nice for people. And I mean it in a way you might have to tell them no. And I've had people over the years say, Larry, you hurt my feelings today. I said, no, it wasn't that you said anything wrong. It's just that I wanted you to say yes. And I was a yes guy. And when I was saying yes to everybody, I was broke, borrowing money from the family and the wife to keep the bills going. But, entrepreneurship, it's not for everybody. But I say to those folks, if you're working a 9 to 5, you can still write your book. You could still have your LLC, your LLP on the side. But I want to end this with you. You have been absolutely amazing. I've watched you in Africa. I've watched you travel this globe empowering men and women. And so thank you for this opportunity to be on this show, because this is the one show that I wanted to be on to promote my caucus event and my new book coming. So I got to give you a hug for allowing me to come.
Absolutely. I hope you don't get sick, but we are thrilled to have you. I love everything that you're doing. To kind of piggyback on what you were talking about in terms of the networking, what I'll say to you guys is this: a closed mouth don't get fed.
Amen.
So if you want to eat, you might want to get up and introduce yourself to somebody. And here's the misconception, I believe, is that people sometimes see people like myself, people like Larry, and I can't speak for anybody except for Cheryl, but my demeanor is more introverted than it is extroverted, believe it or not. But I'm going to eat. Okay, we know I'm going to eat. We're going to work on eating healthier, but I'm going to eat. I'm just saying, I'm going to eat. My family, we're going to eat. I like to travel, as you mentioned. I didn't just go to South Africa. I was able to take my whole family to South Africa a couple months ago. I didn't just go to India last year. I took my whole family to India last year.
Absolutely.
I'm not just going to Paris in May. My whole family is going. And the only way I can do that is if I'm monetizing, if I'm connecting, if I'm building relationships, if I'm consistent. All of those things that you promote is necessary. So if you really want to thrive and not just, as you said, survive as an entrepreneur, I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul, I'm holding on, waiting for the next something, I'm hooking that, I'm giving the homie hookup to everybody or giving everything away. Look, that's called surviving. We want to thrive in business. And one of my goals is to create more entrepreneurs who are crossing 6 figures and 7 figures. And that means we have to be more fiscally responsible in our businesses. Charge what you're worth. Know what you're worth, because you can't charge it if you don't know it.
That's right.
And if you don't value who you are and what you bring into the marketplace. And understand this one thing, and I teach this on every speaking class that I do, and that is this: somebody wants what you know right now and is willing to pay for it right now.
That's right.
They want what you know, or they want what you have right now. That's just the world that we live in. So they're either going to pay it to you or they're going to pay it to your competition. The last thing I have to do before we let you out of here, because we know you have another engagement, I got to give a huge shout out to your wife.
Oh.
Because what I know is there's no successful man or woman who is married in a union who can do it without the love, the support, the encouragement of their spouse. So from my perspective, it's my husband. He supports me when I'm out speaking and I'm here and I'm there and everything. The month of September, I already told him, babe, it's gonna be crazy. Like I'm gonna be in Biloxi, Mississippi. I'm gonna be in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm gonna be in Poconos, Pennsylvania, and one more place. I think it's in Houston, Texas. So my September is slammed, and it just flows right into October and November. And I need his support as I'm out and I'm impacting the world with my gift. So I want to shout out your wife. I don't know if there's something you would like to say to her especially, but I just know, looking from the outside in, that spouses need their spouse support, because I don't want to be a public success but a private failure. I want to make sure that things are in alignment and priority is priority.
Absolutely. Listen, before I give her a personal shout out, I want to say this to you. I read your post about 3-4 months ago. Someone questioned, hey, Cheryl, we don't see your husband at the events and things of this nature, things like that, because we're so busy. They got to take care of the home front. Because even after I get a standing ovation on stage somewhere, my wife goes, you need to take the trash out and cut the grass. I'm like, can't we pay somebody to do that?
Exactly.
But a huge shout out to her, because she's not able to make it to a lot of the events. She's an elementary school principal, but she's there. She's my rock. So shout out to you, dear. I know you don't look at Facebook Live, but I'll tag you later. And you're right, because we have small children, and so somebody's got to be there. But you're absolutely right. And again, just so much synergy and so much, things that we have in common, because I've seen your husband at the events with Bershawn and yourself. And I mean, I came in one year, to close you out, I came in one day with celebrity chef Pat Neely. I had Micheline Bowman from Fox 5 over here in one car, and Pat Neely in another car. Was really busy, and Bershawn goes, where are you leaving? I was like, look, I'm working. And I saw you on stage, and I saw your husband in the back, and you shouted him out. And a lot of times, my wife, I put her in the book, and she says, please don't put me in the book. I said, I have to shout you out. So thank you, dear. I appreciate it.
I know. My husband's the same way. He likes playing from behind. He's like, I'll support you. I'll love on you. But I like being in the background. I don't have to come to the stage. But I feel a responsibility to say thank you to my husband for everything that he does to support me in this journey, because he didn't sign up for this. He didn't sign. That's the truth. The reality is, my husband married a chick who had a job with benefits when we met. And that was 17 years ago. I had a job and benefits, and I changed the game and was like, babe, I'm going to speak for a living. And you going, what? And is it paying you? Is there any benefits in it? Wasn't no payments up front, wasn't no benefits. I too did for a whole year, spoke for free. Like, we were broke, busted, and disgusted, but he hung in there with me. So now it's like, okay, when you keep planting and planting and planting, then you get to see the harvest come in.
Absolutely.
And so now, thank God, the harvest is coming in, and we're able to do things that otherwise we wouldn't have been able to do. But if I didn't have his support, raising the kids, being there with the kids when I'm out speaking and trying to build the brand, it wouldn't be the same. And I said I do for a lifetime, until death do us part. And sometimes you can change the game and that can mess stuff up. But my husband, I just shout him out all the time, because I'm thankful for him for being my rock and for sticking in it with me.
And one more, the last thing for you. When you came out of Baltimore, that's it. You mentioned that you were going to speak overseas and you had never really left Baltimore. Such an inspiring piece to now see all that come into fruition. Yeah. So I just, kudos to you, young lady.
Thank you. Thank you. It's work, you guys. It's work. Nobody wakes up and says, I want to be successful, and then you wake up the next day and it has happened. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of sacrifice. Yeah, it's giving things up. We turn the TV off so that we can write the chapters to the book. Mm-hmm. You know, we make choices. It's about the choices that you make and the decisions that you make. And one of my quotes that you all will hear me say constantly is by Tony Robbins. He's a motivational guru. Look him up if you don't know him. And he says a decision is measured by the fact that you've taken a new action. And if there is no new action, you have not truly decided. So what are your actions that are dictating the fact that you have decided that you want a different life or a different reality, or that you want the thriving business? It's not enough just to talk about it, post cute pictures on social media. Are you doing the work behind the scenes so that you can manifest what it is that you want? And all of us deserve that opportunity to manifest whatever reality that we want, and you have the potential to do it. But are you putting in the work, and are you showing up consistently? Thank you so much for being with us. This is an amazing conversation. I love all the great things that you're doing in the community with 100 Black Men, all these other boards that you're a part of, these initiatives. Keep being amazing. Keep walking in your lane of brilliance, and keep blessing us by just showing up authentically as who you are. Thank you for Cheryl. Being here. Dr. Larry White Sr. is in the building. You guys, please share this out. Make sure that you share this with someone else. We need to make sure that more people know about the amazing work that he's doing, and we want to see you at some of his amazing initiatives, the CBC event in September, the cruise next June, and of course, when he finally does his launch, his book launch, we want to be there to support him. So we're going to take a brief break, and then we're going to be back with our next guest, the dynamic, guns all out in the studio. Her name is Leona Brown, and y'all going to know what I'm talking about in just a moment. We'll be right back.
We have powerful words, we have powerful minds. We use our voices and freedom takes flight. And we're ready to work, we're ready to win. We have a strategy and now we can begin. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Now you are a champion. God is my witness. Imperfect perfection. Living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. All I need is inside of me. I am enough and now I see. Yeah, I will reach my destiny. Yeah, I don't need your permission. Yes, I'm on a mission. I'll win. Oh, oh, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now listen, I want y'all to repeat after me, okay? Because we're going to make some declarations in here today. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say. Yeah. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. Say. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see me. Say. Say I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say we are standing bolder, we're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder, we're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Words, we have powerful minds. We use our voices We're ready to work. We're ready to win. We have a strategy, and now we can begin. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Now you are a champion. God is my witness. Imperfect perfection. Living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. All I need is inside of me. I am enough, and now I see. Yeah, I will reach my destiny. Yeah, I don't need your permission. Yes, I'm on a mission. I'll win. Oh, oh, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now listen, I want y'all to repeat after me, okay? Because we're going to make some declarations in here today. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. Say. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see me. Say. Oh. Say, I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say. We are standing bolder. We're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder. We're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder. Shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Hey, yeah.
Hey guys, we are back. As you can tell, we have already started our conversation before we came back on air. Let me officially introduce my next guest. Her name is Leona Brown. As you can see, the guns is out. Put the guns away. Put the guns away, Leona.
I'm trying.
So Leona Brown serves as a battalion chaplain in the Maryland Army National Guard and is the owner and head trainer at Conversion Fitness LLC. She's known to the community as Coach LB. She received her master's degree in divinity from Capital Bible Seminary in May 2012. Shortly thereafter, she received her commission shortly thereafter she received her commission as a chaplain in 2013. She's a licensed and ordained preaching elder under the leadership of Bishop Derek T. Triplett, founder of Hope Fellowship Church located in Daytona Beach, Florida. And in May 12, 2018, she graduated with a doctorate of ministry degree in leadership renewal from Regent University in Virginia. You're just a busy woman. I'm just trying to keep up with you. That's all I'm saying. Coach LB has trained national and world champions in Muay Thai and kickboxing and was a trainer for WKA Team USA in 2015 and 2016. Good Lord, you busy. Welcome to the show.
Thank you
Oh my God. So I told you this is going to be a really good conversation because, well, first of all, I was mentioning to you that last year I signed my whole family up for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Like, you know how you think it's a good idea at the moment? Girl, I got in there the first class. I was like, whew, I'm out of shape. I came back like 2 more classes. I was like, I am done. Literally everybody just could start dropping like flies from my family. The only person that's still in it is my husband. So shout out again to my husband who stuck with it and he loves it. And he released like 40 pounds.
Yes.
He's like, you can see the muscles coming back. I'm like, boy, don't get nothing started, right? So where did this passion for what you do for fitness and training, where did that stem from?
Let me stop laughing at first because I do jiu-jitsu as well, so I understand. Actually, my mom. She started training us when we were like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. And I got my passion for fitness from her.
And I was trying to be that mom, and I just failed miserably with the BJJ thing. Anyway.
Well, jiu-jitsu is a little up close and personal, so you might want to do something a little different.
You're sweating on each other, and I was like, I don't want to do, I'm a girl. I kept saying, I'm a girl, I don't want to roll on the floor.
Right.
But I admire people who do it and who really take it like all the way, because that's some serious strength.
It is.
And anyway, so at the top of this year, I decided I wanted to create a change in my life, right? And so I hired a physician, I got a meal plan, and I started working out. I was doing so well. And I released 41 pounds.
Congratulations.
Right? Thank you.
Yes.
Girl, then I went to Africa. And when I went to Africa in May, I gave myself permission to take a break.
Absolutely.
And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to eat what I want, whatever. My mind ain't been right since. Yes. Okay, so that's a no-no. Talk to us about nutrition and how that fits into the whole scope of things as it relates to us being healthy and well and fit.
Well, Cheryl, you see, there's so many different things out there on the internet, on TV, so many fad diets, so many, drink herbal teas, you'll lose this weight, put this around your belly, you're going to get your belly down.
It'll shake it off.
It'll shake it off. You got the little muscle shakers. Nothing trumps good old-fashioned hard work and motivation and discipline. And with eating, it's the same thing. There are some people, depending on what they do, yes, they have to eat 6 meals a day. But if you get good eating, you get good meals in, you'll be fine. Balance, variety, moderation. Those 3 words. If you remember those, you'll be fine. So
can somebody type that in on Facebook so we can go back and look at this, and people who go back and look at it. So balance, variety, what was the last one?
Moderation.
And moderation. That's really good.
And if you're traveling, it's okay. Give yourself a little bit of wiggle room.
Right.
Because they know you're going to travel.
So what does your daily diet look like? Like, give me an example of breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
So be quiet.
Get this type of body.
All of you all that are on Facebook Live, do not say anything right now. So my clients call me a grazer. I'm a vegetarian.
Oh God.
I don't eat meat. I just do fish or salmon. But oftentimes I'm in the gym at like 5 o'clock in the morning. That's my first client. So I'm up at 3:30. So I really have to eat. So I kind of eat light. So a little bit of almonds, some water. Maybe some boiled eggs, things like that nature.
Okay,
but I probably need to eat more, but I'm always on the go, so I kind of snack a lot, and I try to get my meals in that way. But I don't recommend that for everybody. It works for me. But as we see, everything can't be cookie cutter. So we have to figure out what your life rhythm is, and it's kind of like what I teach when I'm teaching health and wellness is what's your life rhythm. And once you figure out what your life rhythm is and how you're going to balance that, then we can curate that nutrition.
You guys getting that? What's your life rhythm? Somebody type that too. Thank you, Shidell, for typing that in. Balance, variety, and moderation. But this is a powerful question. What's your life rhythm?
You have to know your rhythm. Like you said, single moms, married, working professions. You just have to figure out what time do I get up in the morning and what time do I go to bed? Like you travel a lot. So figuring out when you're going to be out of town, when you're coming back in town, how's your sleep rhythm? All of those things take a part in wellness. And sometimes we forget about it. We forget about it where we're good in one area and we're very bad in another area.
That's it right there. But I do find that when I am, let's say like when I'm good in the eating part, that it does impact the gym part. The fitness part. So if I'm eating healthy and I go to the gym, like, okay, well, I don't want to, or if I'm going to the gym, I don't want to eat bad because I don't want to ruin that hour or whatever, 45 minutes I just spent in the gym. So I do find that one impacts the other. But if I stop one, I typically stop all. And that's my thing. It's either I'm all in or I'm not in at all.
Because you need energy.
Yeah.
Think about throughout the day. Like you say, you're really an introvert. Like most people laugh, I'm an introvert too. I am so exhausted when I go at the end of the day, right? Because we're inward, and then but the gift that God has given us requires us to be outward.
That's it.
And so you have to look at that. You have to eat to give your body energy, just like a car. You have oil, transmission fluid, all of that. Same thing. Carbs. You have to eat. You have to fuel the body. You have to.
So so there's this thing about carbs. Right? What's your feeling about carbs? And you know how they always say, well, if people say, well, I don't eat any carbs, but there are carbs in fruits too, right? So talk about that. Break that down, like the whole, should we do no carbs? Should we do talk about what your beliefs are.
We can stay on this topic for the rest of the period, but we're going to move forward. So it's natural sugar versus the artificial sugar that we have. So carbs are good. It's energy. It's fuel for your body.
Right.
Just like gas for a car.
Yeah.
You can't work without it.
Right.
And so when people start doing carb depletion, it's okay. It depends on what you're trying to do. That's why you can't look at what you see on TV. Say it again. You can't look at what you see on TV, what you see other athletes do, and try to replicate that for your personal life. Right. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
So you have to figure out, what's my life rhythm? It goes back to that. how much do I need during the day to sustain myself and give myself energy? So I tell people, we're not cutting carbs out totally. So we do like a shred challenge in January. So my company, Shred Challenge.
Oh, I love it.
Shred challenge. Are you sure you're gonna love it after I tell you what it is?
No, I love the name. That's all I love is the name of it. I don't want to know nothing else.
But we do it, and we slowly take out certain things in our diet. Now, if you're very carb heavy, then you start to get low energy because your body's not using the sugar properly. Right. So we'll go through and we'll take out, say, red meat, and then we'll take out certain things, and we'll take out our breads and our starches. Just to see, I told you weren't gonna like it. There it is.
That is my weakness. Bread is my, like, you know how you. So when I did the regimen at the top of the year, it was pretty much, I don't want to say no carbs because I could have like 2 pieces of fruit a day, but it was very, 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 very minimal. Like no white stuff, none of that.
Your starchy foods, yeah. You want to get your whole grains. You want to get those. You want to stay on that side.
So I learned what I could live with and live without, and I didn't know I could live without rice. I didn't know I could live without Coca-Cola. I don't like it.
I love rice.
But I can do it.
I love rice. I'm a trainer. I'm a master trainer, but
you love rice.
I love me some rice.
Do you eat brown rice? I'm sure.
I eat rice.
Okay. What kind of rice? White rice?
I'll never tell.
But you know your life rhythm. And so you know what you can do and what you can eat to maintain.
I try to eat brown rice, but if I get a little bit of yellow rice in there.
A little rice, yeah.
Yeah, I grew up Southern home cooking.
I could live without rice, which I thought I never could. But bread?
You got to have the bread.
Oh, my God. Like, I have to have a piece of bread every once in a while. So that's just been,
Once in a while.
That's it.
That's
what's
the
your moderation.
That's the moderation.
Yeah.
Once in a while.
Yeah, once in a while.
There you
go. Got it. All right, so let's talk about working out. So typically, let's go back to the food before we go to working out. So typically for me, when my body is right, when I'm doing like fish, a lot of salmon, grilled chicken, a lot of veggies, mostly veggies. That's really it. And water.
Water.
Is that a good plan?
A gallon a day.
A gallon a day.
Yes, or more.
All right. So what about the person who says I don't like water?
Drink water.
Anyway,
I'm in the military. I've been in 19 years, and one of the things you say, drink water. You drink water. Your body's made up of 75% water.
Right.
So you need to drink water.
Right.
Hydrate. Get the toxins out.
Right.
Give you the energy that you need.
Yes.
Drink water.
Yes.
It's going to feel like you're swimming in yourself. But after you keep drinking it, your body will get used to it. It'll process it better. Your skin will look better.
Yeah.
Everything will be that much better.
Everything about healthy eating makes you look better and feel better.
Absolutely.
Like that's the one thing I learned. Everything about it. So even if you love the crap, but I feel like crap when I eat crap.
When you eat the crap, yes.
I feel like crap when I eat crap. When I eat healthy, I feel healthy. I feel energized. My skin is glowing. People are like, oh my God, look at your skin.
Your skin looks good, right?
Yeah.
Drink that water.
So it really, I have more energy. I can do what I need to do as a wife, as a mother, as a business owner. So all that, it really does make a difference. And I noticed that when I'm doing the things like, when I'm doing, like if I'm eating the crap and I'm eating like carbs, pasta, immediately, like literally within 10 minutes, I'm like, oh my God,
you feeling
I'm so
sluggish,
sleepy. I'm
feeling
so
slow.
Yes. And that's what made me start the regimen at the beginning of the year, because I was tired. I was like, I can't keep functioning this international business and I'm sleepy all the time. I can't be sleepy all the time.
Going back to your life rhythm.
Yes.
That's a key word right there.
So then working out. How often do we really need to work out? How intense? That's the biggest question for me. How intense does it really have to be? Do I have to go in and like kill myself? Like, oh, I'm running, because I'm not a runner. Do I have to run? Can I just walk for 40 minutes and still achieve the same?
You can.
Okay.
You can.
Okay, good.
So looking at training, it all depends on what you're trying to achieve. So if you're an elite athlete, a professional athlete, of course, you're going to have to train a little bit harder, a little bit longer. The duration and the frequency and the intensity is going to be different. So I would say general population, working the 9 to 5, going home, taking care of the family, 30 to 45 minutes, maybe 5 to 6 times a week, that's fine. And if you can't get that, if you power walk for at least maybe 20 minutes every other day, that's perfectly fine too.
Okay.
As long as you're getting up and you're getting your body moving, getting the joints going, getting the blood flowing. That's all that matters. And once you find that rhythm and you figure out, okay, my day starts at, sorry about that, people calling. My day starts at.
They're trying to get on your calendar. They're like, I want to look like that.
You know, not trying to be funny. I went somewhere. I was training tennis. I have a professional tennis tournament coming up in October.
Wow.
I play on the ITF tour, and I was training and hitting, and I'm minding my own business. And Lay's like, can I talk to you for a minute? And I'm like, I'm training. She's like, are you a trainer? I am. But anyway, when you're working out, once you find your life rhythm, and you find out what your schedule is, then you'll be able to put that time in there. When we talk about wellness, and we look at the full spectrum of wellness, emotional, physical, spiritual, mental, social wellness, all of that takes a key. You have a lot of people that are really into the physical portion, and that's what I do, but also, are you mentally balanced? Are you emotionally balanced? Are you spiritually balanced? Because all of that plays a part. But when you wake up in the morning, for me, my coffee's working out. And I do like my caramel macchiato sometimes. I have to tell that secret. I do.
So how important is community? Because here's my thing. I always wonder, people like you, right, who are trainers and whatever, and y'all just look amazing, right? It's like, okay, when do you get to a point where it's just, this is just my lifestyle? Like, I feel like sometimes I'm on the yo-yo. Oh, I did so good, and then I fall off, and it's so hard for me to get back on. Right. Like, do you ever fall off, or it just becomes a part of you? Like, how does that happen, and when does that happen?
Well, that's when you have accountability partners. Okay. And that's what my company does with Conversion Fitness. We are our training family, and so they're all online right now, and they're like typing in, hey guys, but we can't do this life journey alone. We can't. We have to have people with us in our corners, and you talked about with Larry earlier, you have to have those connections. You have to have those destiny links. And so even with fitness and your fitness journey, you can't do it by yourself. You can't. You got to have individuals around you that believe in you, believe in your goals. One of my mantras in the platform that we have is ROAR. It's realizing our achievable results. So I just say, where did ROAR come from? So my name means lioness. That's why there's a lion everywhere.
All right, now, come on now.
And so, and we roar loudly. We really do. We focus on our goals, and we make sure that we surround ourselves with each other and motivate each other. I train marathon runners. I train tri runners. I train boxers, jiu-jitsu athletes. I train basketball players, and all of us, we come together and we uplift each other. So community is huge. Even in the fitness realm, it's huge. Even as trainers, you know, you can never get to the level and say, well, I'm a trainer and I don't want to, you know, bounce back off of what you're doing. It's all about bettering yourself, getting to the next level. So community is paramount.
So talk about another thing that, you know, and I believe this is applicable for any industry, also investing in yourself. So how do you stay outside of, you know, in a community of support, how do you stay on top of the most recent, and I don't know if I want to call it trends, but what's most recent that people are trying, you know, what do you do to make sure that you are always at the top of your game and giving your clients the best of whatever is currently happening?
Absolutely. I just came back from Miami about 3 weeks ago. I went down to Miami, and I'm going to give them a shout, DBC in Miami that trains Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, huge. They are amazing. They do biomechanics and human movement. And so that was an investment for me as a trainer. Because like you said, the fitness industry is always changing, like daily. Like you go on the internet and you're like, wow, where did that come from? Now, is everything law and knowledge? Probably not. But as trainers, yes, we always have to invest in ourselves. So I'm always traveling, getting certifications, sending my trainers to get their certifications so we all can be on the same page. And I believe that what you have a passion for, you make time for.
Oh, y'all get that? That's a tweetable. Like, oh, that's a tweet. That's a tweetable. Say it again. That what you have a passion for.
That what you have a passion for, you make time for.
Oh, that's good. Somebody type that. Come on now. That what you have a passion for, you will make time for. That's so
I have one more quote for you, and it's by my spiritual father. I'll give you that towards the end. But it's all about investing in yourself and being an entrepreneur. The fitness industry, like you said, if someone is looking to get what you're ready to give them, and if you're not ready to give it to them, then they're going to go to somebody else. And so it's a very progressive industry, and being an entrepreneur in this industry, very, just say it, male dominant, of course.
Yes.
And so as a female trainer that trains boxers, that trains Muay Thai athletes, I have to be on top of my game.
Right.
You know, and I get all different athletes coming to me for nutrition advice. I have to be on top of my game. And my thing is, if I can't do it, then I'm going to bring someone alongside of me that has that knowledge base, and that will come together. And that's what we're doing at Conversion
And
Fitness
that's
right
an
now.
abundance mindset. Hashtag abundance mindset is when, if you don't know it, what did you just say? I'm going to bring somebody alongside me who does. So you don't, it's not that you're always going to know everything, but
Absolutely
you
not.
owe it to yourself to surround yourself with people who are smart, who are just on top of their game, and who know stuff that you don't know. That is called abundance versus having a scarcity mindset, like, oh, I can't bring nobody else
Y'all
smart
write
on
that
board
down
with
for me, okay?
Right?
We're writing everything down for each other.
Have a scarcity mindset, and you're seeing that this is across all industries. It doesn't matter for me. I'm in the speaker industry. Okay, Leona's in the fitness industry. It's the same thing. It's like we get a bigger piece of the pie when we pull our resources together, our knowledge together. We're like, oh, well, I didn't know that. You told me something I didn't know. I tell you something you didn't know. Like, it's a beautiful, beautiful.
It makes everybody better.
Yeah.
It makes everybody better.
Yeah, and I want to be better, right? And we don't ever get to a point where like, oh, I'm good, as you said.
No, and we're all chasing greatness.
Yes.
You know, you think about Dwayne Johnson, his platform, you know, chasing greatness. You know, I'm a huge Under Armour fan, so
Right.
sorry, I'm a huge Dwayne Johnson fan. But we're all chasing greatness. We're all taking our passion, our gifts, our talents, and we want to bring it out to the forefront.
Absolutely. So what's your ultimate goal? Like, we look at this, we read the bios like, okay, chick, like, really, what else can you do, right? So is there some big...
There is. The ultimate goal for me, and my team is working on it right now. Cheryl, I have, when you talk about business, you take that 5 year, you know, I've done things for free. I've trained clients for free.
Yeah.
And then you talked about knowing your worth.
Yes.
I went from like, hey, this is what, you know, my fee is as a trainer. And then it was like my business manager, she was like, you can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So knowing your worth, but for me, it's opening up my own training center. That is my goal. That is my vision. And we're almost there. We're about 75% there.
Oh, I love
I've got
it.
a realtor right now who's looking for some buildings for me, and we want it to be a premier training center on the East Coast.
That is fantastic.
That's what we want to do. We want to bring in elite athletes. We want to bring in
Come on now.
massage therapists. We want to bring in sports psychologists. We want to bring in all of these individuals under one roof as a training center, one-stop shop to come in and get the best in health and wellness all the way around.
You ain't nothing but the truth. This is the real deal right here. When they start talking about psychologists and words you can't spell or pronounce, you know it's the real.
Well, you know, I just graduated with my doctorate, so you know.
You got the big words for us, all right? I love it.
But that's the ultimate. That's the ultimate.
Oh, that's
vision.
fantastic. That's fantastic. And you will accomplish it. Like we are, you can tell when somebody has that drive and that energy and that passion for what they're doing. Like there's something that comes out of you. And that's why I always share with every client I work with. It's like, you'll hear me say this. I hear you, but I don't feel you. And if I say I hear you, but I don't feel you, that means I hear what you're saying out your mouth, but there's not a connection with why you're doing it.
No
That's why I always
energy there.
I always ask people, why do you do what you do? How did you get started? What moved you? What motivated you? Because typically, now, have you ever struggled with weight? Have you ever struggled with toning your body or weight loss or anything?
I have. And I know people look at me and they're like, what?
Right. Right.
So I got injured on active duty in 2012. And I had to have knee surgery.
Wow.
Couldn't walk for 6 months.
Wow.
When I say could not walk for 6 months, Cheryl, like it was like baby. Like I had to learn how to walk again. And most people as trainers, they you know people look at you and they say, oh, you've never struggled with weight, you've never had a problem, you don't know what it means to have joint pain, you don't know what it means to not be able to walk up and down the stairs and be out of breath. I do.
Wow.
I shot from 155 to 200 pounds.
Get out. What they say? Shut the door.
Shut the front door.
Shut the front door.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody has a story.
Yes, and that's not even like all of it, but that was 2012. Had a surgery in 2013. Lost all my clients.
Oh,
I lost everything.
My God.
I lost, and I was training clients outside. So when you talk about a person's journey, when you talk about their narrative, it is important to get your narrative out there. It is
Are you
important.
coming to the women's narrative event? Is that what you talking about?
I definitely would like to come if you give me the information. Absolutely. I'm all about networking and bettering oneself. Absolutely.
Yes.
And so, yes, I understand weight struggle.
Yes.
I do. I could not walk up a flight of stairs without being in pain.
Wow.
After I had surgery, those wonderful twins, arthritis, are part of my life now.
Wow.
But arthritis, for those of you
did y'all get that? That took me a minute. Sometimes I'm a little slow. Those twins, arthritis.
Identical twins, because they will let you know that they're there. Trust me. But I went through all of that. I went through being like self-esteem issues.
Wow.
I couldn't get into any of my clothes. I couldn't get into my military uniform. My best friend, she was there. She was like, all right, we're going to get this. You know, when the doctor said you might as well just have a sedentary lifestyle because you'll never be able to do anything again.
Wow.
But if you're like me and you tell me not to do something, I'm doing it.
Yeah, watch me.
Watch me, right? Hashtag watch me. So I understand that part of it.
Yes.
I understand that part of it. So when clients come to me, I get a lot of clients. My oldest client, 69. My youngest client's 5.
Wow.
So I understand.
5? What are you teaching a 5-year-old?
Spartan junior racers. When I tell you I train, you name it. Spartan, people coming in for Spartan, adventure races. Phenomenal. You know, people coming in, Coach, I want to do this triathlon. Okay, I can't help you with swimming because I play in the water when I take a bath. Okay, that's it. But I can help you get the strength and conditioning part of it.
Wow.
So we train everyone.
I'm just so impressed. I really am. Like, I'm going to truly, like, look you up.
Thank you.
You know, maybe have my family, we come and do something. I don't know. We're trying to get more, be more active and less sedentary. And for a while, we got very, that was the one big change I noticed when I shifted at the beginning of the year, was my husband said, he made a statement, he said, well, I guess we all gonna lose weight because Mommy don't bring no food up in here no more. We don't go out and eat. It wasn't that we didn't go out and eat, but we used to, our quality time together was sitting at a restaurant and eating. And it was eating fried, fattening foods and pasta. And it was like, it forced me to look at what can we do to replace that time that we spend together.
Well, you can. And you talked about nutrition. We talked about life rhythm. And I also talk about family rhythm. Okay, you have that too. And meal prepping is a great way to get your family together around nutrition. But not making it boring, asking the kids, how do you want to cook food?
Right.
Bringing them into the kitchen as well.
Right.
Having them help you cook meals that they're going to like too.
Yeah.
And that their palate is going to be like, okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Eating clean and healthy does not have to taste nasty.
Yeah. That's very true.
It doesn't have to taste nasty.
That's very
true.
So
remember that.
And the way I started preparing a lot of my foods, the kids, they liked it. They're like, Mommy, you cooking that salmon tonight? Wait a minute, why are you all up on my food? But I was like, wow, that's a good thing. They were like, we love the way you cook the broccoli with the little, you know, you throw it in the oven or put it in the wok. Right. They loved it.
Right.
So you're right.
It's making those subtle lifestyle changes.
Absolutely.
There are no quick fixes out there, Cheryl. There are
quick fixes.
There are no
you guys hear
quick
that?
fixes.
No
there
quick
are none.
Fixes. Kiana Brown is with us, and she also released a whopping amount of weight. Kiana, if you're still watching, what was the amount that you released this? I think it's been over the past year, but she's been on her own journey. She looks freaking amazing. Congratulations, shouting you out.
Congratulations.
Yes, Dr. Valika Moore. Shidell says, how do we look up Coach LB?
Okay, good. I can be found on, of course, Instagram, social media, Conversion Fitness LLC. Facebook, Conversion Fitness LLC. Everything's Conversion Fitness LLC. Google me. ConversionFitness.net is my website. We're everywhere.
And what's the meaning behind Conversion Fitness? I mean, I know what the word means, but
yes. So it's about transforming our minds and our bodies, not just our bodies, but transforming our minds.
Yeah.
So I wanted Transformation 180 in the beginning. So this is the journey. We'll have to talk offline and tell you about the journey. So it was Octagon Fitness, and it just didn't fit right with what I wanted to do with my company, the vision that I had with my clients. So Transformation 180, of course, was taken. And so how are we doing? You know, we're converting ourselves to a different level. So that's where Conversion Fitness came in.
I love it.
And so it's not just the fitness aspect of it for me too, Cheryl. It's about coaching my clients to the next level. So sometimes we'll come in, and I've had this happen, where they're just having one of those days.
Yeah.
We don't train. We'll come in, all right, come on, let's talk. So we have our coaching moments too, you know, and so they have goals that they want to reach, maybe not sometimes outside of fitness. And so that's one of the components that I bring to my company. I'm a certified life coach, certified leadership coach as well. And so that's paramount in empowering, nurturing, inspiring individuals to make it to the next level, not only in health and wellness, but in life in general.
I'm just so inspired by you. Like, seriously, I love first of all, I love seeing people who are truly, truly passionate about what they do and they believe in it from their core. And it's so evident that you do. And I love that because sometimes you are on a journey and that day it can't be about fitness. Like it might not be about the workout. It's about the mindset. It's about I need somebody to tell me I can do this.
I've had clients come in tears, and I'm like, we're not training today.
Yeah.
Let's go talk.
Yeah. I love that. I love that because you got to give people what they need right then and there.
At that moment.
Yeah, at that moment. It's so powerful. That's how I know you're going to be even more. I mean, you're already massively successful. Come on, look at the resume. But we know that you will have your own place, that it will be phenomenal. You will have all those long-worded people with all the letters behind the name there. Training and helping other people. And so Kiana did respond back. She said 50 pounds down and still going.
Congratulations.
Huge congrats.
Yes.
I'm so proud of you. You do look amazing. Keep up the great work. I'm going to get my mind right. Now that Coach LB has been here, I'm going to get back on track.
Y'all heard this, right?
And look, this is the crazy part. I'm going to tell you for real. I'm going to be real honest. So the crazy part is I start every morning really good. Like I'm like, okay, I have my 2 boiled eggs and my apple. Yes. And then what happens? I don't know what happens between lunch and dinner, but it just goes spiraling down. It's like, okay. But every day I wake up with the desire to do it.
And that's all you need. That's all you need is the desire.
Well, I need something else because I'm not doing it.
Discipline.
Dedication.
That's determination.
Yeah.
You need those things too. But as long as the desire is there, Cheryl, you can accomplish anything in life. But I want to thank you for having me on the show. Dr. Marcy Ross is the one that
shout out. She was just with us a couple weeks ago or something like that.
Amazing. So thank you, Dr. Marcy.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Smart people hang with smart people. I'm just trying
to try, right? We try.
She got a whole bunch of letters behind her name too, Dr. Marcy. She came in here with her big box of. Remember, she did all that research and came up with all these supplements that you can use.
She was telling me about that.
She is phenomenal. She's actually going to be with us in Paris.
Really?
We're going to Paris in May, and she'll be one of our speakers there, and it's called A Woman's Narrative, and it's all about women sharing their story, because you can't look at somebody and know what their story is. You can't look at somebody and know what they've been through. Would you ever think that she had ever had any challenge with being overweight or any challenge with, she had knee surgery? Like, she's a beast.
2 knee surgeries.
Come on now.
2 knee surgeries.
Come on. And I love when people get to share their stories because it reminds you that anything is possible. Whatever you want, as you said, if you have the desire, you can make it happen. So as we close out, tell people again how they can connect with you, how they can reach out to you if they need some training, want some training. They ready for their change.
All right.
They ready for their conversion.
Ready for their conversion. Well, you can always email me at coachlb@conversionfitness.net.
Can somebody type that in? CoachLB@conversion.net?
At conversionfitness.net.
Conversionfitness.net. Coach LB at conversionfitness.net. That's one way.
That's one way. Of course, you can DM me.
You can
on
DM
Instagram.
her. Hit her in her
Conversion
DM.
Fitness LLC. Yeah, I get a lot of DMs.
And tell them again where you are. Where
So yes, I am located at Fitness for Less in Bowie,
Maryland. You guys,
right off
we have
of
a lot of folks who follow us on the show,
right off of 197,
who are in the local DMV. Yeah, so she's right in Bowie, Maryland. So you can connect with her, and you can be a beast too. Come on now, you can get converted all the way. So how does that work if you're at Fit? You just come in as an independent?
I'm an independent contractor, so I have my own office, have my own company, and then clients come in and we train. Right now, the number I have an assistant head trainer. Lydia Shell. I have about 3 interns right now that are coming in to learn how to be trainers. And so we're building. We've got about 50 clients, and we're growing.
Awesome.
And we're growing.
Well, we know you won't be over at the other place too long.
Yeah, but shout out to Marie and DJ. It's an amazing facility, amazing gym, and it's a good environment. So we, as I say, we get that work.
Yes, they get that work, y'all.
Yes,
Come
they
on.
do.
You heard it from the lioness herself, Coach LB. We won't forget you up in here. We're going to be talking about you for a long time.
Thank you so much.
We'll have to have you come back on the show.
Absolutely, I would love to.
Yeah, so guys, make sure you connect with her. And then again, online. Are you on Instagram, Twitter, all that?
All social media outlets.
All social media.
I am on, yes.
And are they all different or are they the same?
Nope, they're all the same.
Okay, and what is it?
Conversion Fitness.
Conversion Fitness, y'all. Somebody type that.
Keep it easy. Keep it simple.
Conversion Fitness. Make sure you follow her. Thank you so much for being with us.
Can I give you a hug?
Yes. Oh my God, I'm so inspired. You're gonna make me go home and eat a piece of salmon and some broccoli. I'm gonna get back on track.
Look, I'm gonna go graze and put some almonds.
I'm gonna go graze, right? You go graze. I'm gonna have my salmon and my broccoli. But I mean, I'm totally totally inspired. Thank you so much for all of the tips.
Thank you for having
all
me.
the information. You guys, we can do this. We can do this, right? We can do everything. The health, the wellness, the fitness.
Absolutely.
We can do this. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back with our final guest, the one, the only, the phenomenal, drum roll, Christy Rutherford.
Yes.
So hang tight.
We have powerful words. We have powerful minds. We use our voices and freedom takes flight. And we're ready to work. We're ready to win. We have a strategy and now we can begin. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Now you are a champion. God is my witness. Imperfect perfection. Living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. All I need is inside of me. I am enough and now I see. Yeah, I will reach my destiny. Yeah, I don't need your permission. Yes, I'm on a mission. I'll win. Oh, oh, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now listen, I want y'all to repeat after me, okay? Because we're going to make some declarations in here today. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say. Yeah. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. Say. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see me. Say. Say I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say we are standing bolder, we're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder, we're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Hey, yeah. We have powerful words. We have powerful minds. We use our voices and freedom takes flight. And we're ready to work. We're ready to win. We have a strategy and now we can begin. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Now you are a champion. God is my witness. Imperfect perfection. Living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over.
Hey, y'all. All right. I'm still fired up from Leona. We had a great conversation earlier this morning or this afternoon with Dr. Larry White, and then we got to talk to Leona. And we realized that today is like the military day, right?
It is.
So Dr. Larry was Navy, and Leona was Army, National Guard. And now my next guest, Christy Rutherford, I'm looking through, reading through, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. We got a U.S. Coast Guard. Come on now, y'all. So let me introduce This beautiful young lady next to me, give her the proper introduction. She is a globally recognized leader. Her name, again, is Christy Rutherford. She's a keynote speaker, leadership coach, and author, publishing 5 #1 best-selling books on Amazon in 8 months. Come on now. And y'all talking about y'all can't write a book. Stop playing. 5 #1 best-selling books in 8 months. A Harvard Business School alumni. She's also a certified executive leadership coach from Georgetown University. She's been featured in Forbes twice. She is the 13th African-American woman to achieve the rank of commander, come on, in the U.S. Coast Guard's 225-plus year history, where her demographic was 0.1%. She responded to the needs of the citizens in New Orleans 2 days after Hurricane Katrina and had a 3-year congressional fellowship with the House of Representatives. Her academic portfolio includes an MBA and a pastry chef diploma. Okay. Among her many professional accomplishments, her national recognition includes Harvard Business School's 2018 Launching New Ventures Pitch Contest Grand Master Champion, Cambridge Who's Who amongst executives and professionals, Career Communications STEM Technology All-Star, and the Edward R. Williams Award for Excellence in Diversity. Woo! Talk about greatness. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Cheryl. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Absolutely. I am honored to be sitting next to you. So let's get to the core, because one of the things I always ask my client, or the people who come into the studio, I say, well, what is it that you really want to focus on? And you said something that left my mouth hanging wide open.
Yeah.
And that was that you left a position that you were on as a professional with only 3.5 years left to retire, and you left. Talk about what that process was about, why you left, and talk about where you are now.
One of the things that I learned about being successful, workaholics, we will work ourselves to our demise.
Yeah.
And as women, professional women, we add on all these things. We add on the additional responsibility. Now we have to coach and mentor women. And
yes.
if you have a family, you have to take care of your kids. And I see my wives, or not my wives, but my friends who are now wives and mothers. And so everything is stacking on, but we're not letting stuff go.
Yeah.
And we carry the baggage with us. We carry the baggage from childhood. We carry the baggage of being women. We carry the baggage of being women of color and the disrespect that we endure on a day-to-day basis and also in our workplace. So as I got to the point where I was in my career, I'm highly successful. You see my resume. The resume is ridiculous on paper.
Right.
And I had everything that I wanted. I had the cars and the houses and the money, and we would go ball out in Paris and Vegas and Miami and doing all these things, but secretly I was dying on the inside. Secretly I was miserable. Secretly I wanted a different life.
Wow.
So when we talk about destiny, even though I was successful in my career, I always knew that I belonged somewhere else.
Wow.
I would always look out the window and like the wind would blow through my hair. I was like, man, the business world is missing me. But I'm successful here, so I'm going to stay here.
Wow.
But even though you're successful here, that's not necessarily where you belong.
Yeah.
So I started watching Oprah in 2009. So I started to visualize a different life. And I started to say, when I retire, I want my office to be outside. I want to be a greater blessing. I want to be a keynote speaker and all these things that I wanted. So the universe, God magically brought me a bad boss, terrible, lunatic, crazy, who harassed me.
Oh, no.
And he harassed everybody equally. But he had set his sights on me and was basically, I got the message, he's going to destroy you.
Wow.
So then I became resentful and bitter. And like, I've done all the right things. I've checked all the right boxes. I've taken the hard jobs. I've done everything that you've asked of me as an organization. I've done everything, and you gonna let this one man burn me? So it got to the point, either I was gonna leave or I was gonna die. Everybody said, fight, Kristen. I said, no, I don't wanna fight. So he really gave me permission to do what I wouldn't have done anyway, which was leave and go live my life. So now I live the life that I imagined. So a lot of times when adversity comes, Napoleon Hill says, on the side of every adversity is an equivalency to benefit. But most people focus on the story of what happened. They never get to the other side of, this is what you wanted.
Right.
So that's how I live, and that's what I talk about today, assisting women with taking care of themselves, because my job wasn't the challenge. I love my job. I love the people who work for me.
Yeah.
It was the other stuff that I wasn't taking care of.
Yeah. So many things that you said in that just resonate so deeply with me. I feel like our stories are so much alike. For me, I was in the corporate space, and I didn't have some senior level job. I had, a little mediocre job, but I made enough money and took care of me, took care of my family. And that's all I knew how to do. And the thing is, sometimes you get into a pattern of doing what you know how to do, and nothing's going to change until you interrupt your norm. And sometimes you're forced into interrupting your norm. But just like you, everything inside of me was screaming that I wasn't supposed to be there. It was literally like screaming, but nobody could hear me.
Yes.
That's how I felt for such a long time. And there's so many women and men, but I specialize in working with women. So women who are in that same space and they don't give themselves permission to leave what they know and leave their norm to do something different and explore something different. How do you even know what's possible if you don't give yourself permission to go out and explore and attempt what seems impossible? I think to myself, where the heck would I be now if 8 years ago I didn't take a risk to give up everything that I knew, that I was familiar with and that I was comfortable with, to do something I had never done before that scared the heck out of me and made my husband think I was cray-cray. Like, I likely would not be here at this table. I wouldn't be traveling all across the world. It just wouldn't be. So focusing, like you said, more on the benefits that could happen versus, the story of and what you're losing. Like, sometimes you just got to remove yourself from, everything that you feel like you're going to lose, because you could have everything to gain.
Absolutely.
So when you talk about feeling burned out, how did that manifest? Because I know burnout, right? That manifests physically as well. Did it manifest physically for you at all?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was in the emergency room every 2 weeks with flu-like symptoms.
With flu-like symptoms?
With flu-like symptoms. I had arthritis that I actually put into remission 12 years before, because I said, you know what, this is not my destiny.
Wow.
So what I've learned is autoimmune diseases actually are stress-induced. And stress is the underlying factor of something from your past. So when I developed it 12 years before, I was almost in a wheelchair, and I cried for a year. And after a year, I said, you know what, this is lame. And this is not your destiny. You're a winner.
Yes.
Figure it out.
Yes.
Put it in remission, it came back. So as I was saying, hey, I'm managing this. I wasn't really, because my body was showing otherwise.
Right.
Flu-like symptoms, I had headaches, my ears started ringing. I felt like somebody was squeezing the sides of my head every day when I woke. So I woke up in the morning with blinding headaches. My back was hurting. So physically, my body was shutting down.
Yeah.
So no matter how successful I looked on the outside, the challenge is everything was going on internally. And the battle was going on internally to step away from everything that I knew. I mean, my check was delicious.
Right, it was delicious. I love it. It was just delicious.
My check was awesome. And to be that person that everybody looks up to, nobody really heard me. They didn't hear my silent screams. They didn't hear my cries. They didn't hear me say, I am done. Nobody believed me.
Yeah.
So when I think that when you get in trouble, I'm screaming and I'm telling people, but nobody believed me, because my brand that I built, think about Kate Spade, the brand that was built was one of strength and courage and all these things. So when the human is suffering, the soul is suffering, nobody's listening to the soul, because all they see is the brand. So those are the things that were going on. And I knew that if I didn't leave, and I had 2 friends, so I'm asking for permission to do the unthinkable. And that's the challenge, Cheryl, is that we want people to support our lunacy. We want people to say, hey, go ahead, just leave your career. No. It was immense resistance. I had people calling me bawling on the phone, hysterical that I was making a decision for my life.
Yeah.
What would they do without me? I'm like, but what if I die? Well, like, what am I going to do about me?
Absolutely.
So to become selfish to save my life was just ridiculous. But I had 2 friends. One of them said, Chrissy, you know what? Like, you know what? Something's going on with you. Like, the mental deterioration, because I'm missing meetings, I'm missing phone calls, and I used to always be a square. He said, just leave. Just go. 2 friends out of the 100 people or so. They was like this, because they cared about Christy the person and not Christy the brand.
Yes. There was just a tweet. What was it? It was a part of this long thing that Lauryn Hill posted yesterday, and I read through some of it. It was very long. And one of the things, and I can't recall it word for word, but I just remember there was this one part that stood out for me where she was like, life is not a performance.
Yes.
Where you're performing for other people so that they can get satisfaction.
Yes.
Like, this is the real thing. It's not a dress rehearsal, as we've heard, some people say. It is the real thing, and you got to do it not because it's a performance that makes other people feel happy and feel good. It has to be about you. What makes you feel good? What makes you feel fulfilled? What makes you feel happy? And so you're right. When you make a decision that you're going to do something you will be surprised at the resistance that you get. So we're trying to tell you, don't be surprised, expect it. Expect that there's going to be resistance. And look, I'm not saying to be mad or angry at people who resist, because these are typically people who love you.
Yes.
And they care about you. And they may think that you are going through some mental deterioration for real and that you're not making sound decisions because they're thinking about, again, the negative side, what might happen in a negative space, not the enlightening things that could come from you making yourself priority, making your health, your wellness, your mental capacity priority. So I love that you had at least two people out of the 100, y'all. 2 was like, look, just go for it. So, but at the end of the day, no matter who was saying go for it or not, it had to be your personal decision and commitment to the life that you wanted to live and the reality that you wanted to see manifested. So don't go around asking people for permission. Don't go around looking for validation about some idea that you have, because most times 99% of the people will not validate or give you the permission that you're looking for anyway, and you stay miserable. So I'm not going to stay miserable. I'm going to make the decision. I'm going to validate myself. I'm going to affirm for myself that I have it, and I'm going to move forward. And here's the thing. If it does fail, so the heck what? So guess what? I gave myself permission to try it, right? Most people don't want to deal with that. Oh, well, but if I fail, then people are watching me. So the heck what? You still had the courage to do what most people never do at all, which is to take the risk. So you're 10 steps ahead already simply by going for it, even despite all of the trauma that comes with it or the resistance that comes with it. So I just give you kudos for saying yes to you.
Yes.
And we want to encourage more people and more women to say yes to themselves. So you work with primarily professional women, and what is it that you provide them with?
A lot of times it's the same thing. It's giving them permission to take care of themselves.
Yeah.
And it's giving them permission. Actually, it's almost a mirror to see what they really look like. Because I thought that I hid the brokenness. I thought that I hid the inner cray-cray. I thought that I hid...
She said the inner cray-cray. Come on,
girls running around in my head. So I thought that I hid it, but it's only when I got well. So after probably about a year, I ran around and with this network marketing company, and I'm selling coffee, but they were so happy. So they're all highly personally developed people, so they gave me the light back. And then when I had a chance to stop, I exploded in 1,000 pieces. Boom, right? And as I laid on the ground for probably about 3-4 months, I slept for nearly a year. And I started to look at Christy, what did you do? How did you get here? And how are you going to get back? Because to leave a career and to say, you know what, I'm going to do something completely different, there's fear in that. But when you have to look in the mirror, one of the things that Napoleon Hill says, he said, if I had the courage to look in the mirror and see myself as I truly am, then I will find out what is wrong with me and fix it, as opposed to building alibis to cover my misfortune. So I had to look in the mirror and stop blaming other people. You know, stop blaming my family or my boss or, you know, whoever. It was me. Now that's what I teach other women, to look in the mirror, and you have somebody who's it's a safe space. It's a secure space to look at what you're doing, and then they tell me stories, and then I look at it from my perspective and then offer it back to them. And then they can see it in a different light, and there's healing in that. There's freedom in that. And all it is perspective. Was your life as traumatic as you think it was?
Right.
Not really, but you need somebody outside of yourself to see that for you.
Yeah, and that goes to that, you know, we all heard the expression, you can't be the picture and the frame, right? So you need somebody external who's looking in who can give you that perspective back and kind of say, so what I hear you saying is, and present it back to you so that you're able to kind of really receive that. You cannot, it's almost like a person trying to coach themselves.
Yes.
You can't coach yourself. You need somebody else who is outside on the outside looking in and expressing to you, articulating to you what they see, what it is that might work, what can you do to shift, to pivot. So I love that you're creating that safe space for women, especially professional women who oftentimes feel like they don't have a safe space to really share their real feelings, like the truth.
Yes.
Right? And you're smiling.
Yeah, I'm laughing because I'm thinking about my client. So one of my clients, she was so thirsty for men. So professional women, because we're busy.
Yes.
And we're stressed out.
Yeah.
And we're carrying baggage. So we're too busy to look at ourselves. And we're always serving other people, Cheryl.
Yeah.
We're always, we can dip into everybody else's problems and help them solve themselves, but we would never look at ourselves. But we also know the results that we have that are undesired. So I get them with their undesired result. But I had a client who was just thirsty for men. I said, you know, you're real thirsty, you know. Men don't like thirsty women. So let's peel some layers back to figure out what's going on. And what we got to was, she was a professional woman. The love that she sought through men was actually the love that she was seeking from her father.
Absolutely.
So she thought her dad was very, very strict growing up. But once we got the real story and the perspective, it was he loved his kids so much, he tried to protect them. So the strictness was not out of just being, you know, a terrible father. It was out of love and protection. And once she saw that, she actually, you know, left her job and moved back. You know, moved back closer to her family to now mend those broken fences, basically. And she's so happy. So my clients actually look different. So I like to show often on, you know, social media my before and after picture. Yeah. I look completely different than I did 6 years ago. She looks completely different than she did last year because there's light in, you know, your eyes and your body.
Oh my God, yeah. If I have one more person send me a note talking about, girl, you're glowing, yes. Cheryl, because I'm doing what I love. Like, I'm not going somewhere where I hate, I'm miserable, but yes. I'm wearing this fake smile. You know how we do for so long. And I did that for 15 years. Like, how the ham sandwich did I stay in that environment that I hated?
Yes.
And it wasn't the job. It was some of the people I worked with.
Yes.
And it was their unhappiness with themselves that kind of like made me angry. They angry, so I get angry. I'm not really an angry person. Like, why am I angry? And it was the lack of flexibility for me.
Yes.
It was, I wanted freedoms that you guys hear me talk about all the time: time freedom, financial freedom, and creative freedom. And I wasn't going to get that in the role that I was in. So for me, it was, as you said, it was do this thing or die.
Yes.
And inside, I was dying. I compare it oftentimes to, flatlining. In fact, my first book was How I Flatlined and Woke Up. And it was all about feeling like I was just lying on a table and, I could almost see myself lying there, like outside of myself, and see the doctors pumping my heart, like trying to revive myself. And I just couldn't pull it together. And I didn't pull it together until I was willing to do something I had never done before that totally scared me. Did you have any, I'm sure you had to have, once you made the decision, like did you say, oh my God, what have I done? You know how like sometimes you get a good idea, especially as entrepreneurs, we get a great idea, we're like, yes, this is gonna be the bomb. That's gonna be amazing. We get pumped up, girl. Like 60 seconds later, you're like, wait a minute, this is not gonna work. Ain't nobody else gonna think. Did you have that? And how did you balance it so that you actually move forward?
There was fear. I mean, it's almost like to leave a 6-figure career, solid, first at 15, government check. It was amazing.
Y'all know how I talk about direct deposit, right? That's a beautiful thing, yeah?
So to leave, what I had to do was I had to let my circle go. I jumped off a cliff into darkness and I had to disappear because people kept reminding me, nobody saw my vision. I did see a vision of what I'm doing right now, but people kept reminding me of who I was, which was awesome.
Yeah.
But they couldn't see me for who I wanted to be. So I had to disappear from the people who kept pulling me back to who were attached to my history.
That's so good.
And would not support my destiny because what I did was so ridiculous.
Right.
And they talked about me. It's so funny, Cheryl, because now they're like, oh, I always knew you could do it. But like, I heard you call me stupid, right? Like, I know you were talking about me. Don't be tripping. Like, I know you talked about me. But yeah, there was fear in that. But over time, through study, one of the things that Bob Proctor talks about is a terror barrier, right? Through study and understanding and hanging around other light beings, and they're happy. And they're joyous, and reading Napoleon Hill and Bob Proctor and Jim Rohn and Dorothea Brand and all these people, the fear became normal. Fear became is what you eat because I had already demonstrated success.
Right.
So now, which is kind of crazy, you have to learn new tools in entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
You have to learn new tools in starting a business and doing all these other kind of things. But so I would allow the fear to just move or just act anyway. Yeah, I'm afraid. This is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm living on the edge. But I'm going to take massive action every single day until I see what I saw. And then eventually everybody else will see what I saw.
I love that. I love that you keep referencing vision. Zig Ziglar has a saying that you have to see the reaching in your own mind before you ever get to the actual destination. And it's true. It's like you have to be able to visualize that thing and see it, even when nobody else does. Now, I love that you talk about getting out of that circle and that those people who were reminding you of who you were, right? But I want to speak to those who can't get away from the circle because it's your husband or it's your spouse or it's your family, right? So for me, and I love him, love you, hubby, but my husband thought I was cray-cray when I was like, I'm about to leave my good job with benefits and I'm going to go speak for a living, really? And I had no signed contracts, nothing that was waiting for me, but it was the vision that I had been given, that I could see it, like as though I could reach out and touch it. Yes. I could see it already in my mind's eye. And so for me, it was, I couldn't remove myself from my marriage. However, for me, it was about allowing action to be the prescription to my fear.
Yes.
And action being the prescription to his fear, because I just kept going. I just kept showing up. And even sometimes when there were things that he would say that kind of would pull me in a negative space, I would always have something to combat that. So that's why I'm a big fan of having CDs in my car. Like all I got in my car, I got Zig Ziglar, I got Les Brown, I got Gloria Mayfield Banks. Anybody that can speak a positive word into my soul, that's in my car. I'm not listening to Lil Wayne. You can listen to Lil Wayne, that's fine. I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. But I know what I need to keep myself fueled. Lil Wayne got his empire. He got his coins. I needed to get my coins. And that meant that I had to make sure I kept my mind on point. And like you said, and then being in those circles of people who you don't seem as crazy because they doing the same stuff you doing. They taking risks too, and they doing stuff, and their family think they crazy. So talk about that. How would you encourage someone who is a professional woman but has a spouse maybe who just doesn't get it, and it's like, what? You want to do what?
You know, I have a client who has a huge mission, and her husband thought that she was nuts, and he didn't want to pay for coaching, but he did. Right, the first step. Let's talk. So she says, you know, Chrissy, I'm gonna think about it. I said, who you gonna ask? Your negative self? Let me consider. Who you gonna ask?
Who you gonna ask? Y'all put that. Somebody type that. Who you gonna ask? Dash. Your negative self? Question mark.
Who you gonna follow up with? Who you gonna consult with? The person who wants to stay alive?
Christy, that is so good. That's like I'm never gonna forget that. Who you gonna ask? Your negative self? I love it. All right, go ahead.
So so the goal is, how can I hold forward to my mission and not lose my family along the way?
Yes.
So it's all about protecting your space and understanding that when people ask you, when her friends or her family ask her in front of him, it's about, don't say anything if he doesn't like it.
Right.
Or understand that when they're asking you just to be nosy, or do they really want to know?
Right.
Because people bait you and then drag you down to the bottom with them. So it's about becoming conscious of what conversation made you feel good, and what conversation are you having that just threw you completely off track. So it's about seeing who in your circle supports you. The first time you tell me I'm gonna fail, I stop talking to people. I mean, 95% of my circle has changed, and I don't apologize for that, because I can't allow you to hold me hostage to what you had in mind for me, not what I had in mind for myself, not the vision that I have. And a lot of people aren't willing to fight for what they see, and they cave because they want cheerleaders. Now, if you want cheerleaders now, when you don't have any followers, imagine being T.D. Jakes or Joel Osteen or Joyce Meyer when they talk about them like all the time.
Right.
And if you're gonna cave with yourself or with somebody in your family, then you can't even manage what you ask for, because people are going to talk about you on that level.
Absolutely. It don't matter what level you at. Get ready for it. Like, prep yourself for it. You could be the most positive. Look, they talked about Jesus, as they said.
They did
talk about Jesus, so they're going to talk about you. And you just got to really stay laser focused on your mission, your assignment, your happiness, your destiny. Like, you just have to, like the horse with the blinders on, you gotta stay laser focused with almost like tunnel vision and not worry about, and then the other thing you can't do is you can't compare yourself to somebody else. Like, you looking at their chapter 20, but you on chapter 1 trying to compare your journey to their journey and asking yourself, well, why I ain't get that and why that's not happening for me. It ain't for you. It wasn't meant for you. Like, stop. I always tell clients 3 things. Don't compare, don't compete, don't covet what somebody else has. Do not do those things, because comparison is the thief of your joy. It will always rob you of any joy that you have if you always looking at somebody on the left, looking at somebody on the right, trying to see what they're doing and what they're getting. No, what you getting? And can you express gratitude for what you getting?
Yes.
Because sometimes we diminish the small. We look at it like, what? But I want to be there. You'll get there through consistency, right? Through keep showing up. But don't. There's a scripture that says, you know, God, the person who is the faithful steward over little, God will assign that person to be a faithful steward over much.
Absolutely.
So, but can you be a faithful steward first over the little? Can you be a good steward, and can you serve in excellence over that small group before God elevates you to the bigger and the greater? So I'm just loving the conversation. Yes, people are saying hashtag laser focus. Shidell, thank you for typing that in. Who you gonna ask? Your negative self? And she literally put yo negative self.
Your negative self.
Your negative self, question mark. Shidell says, don't compare, don't compete, don't covet. Hashtag laser focus. Thank you, Ralph Quinn, for being with us. Amy Taylor, thanks for being. She says, just wow. Chanel says, yes, allow action to be the prescription to your fear. Fantastic conversation. So I know that you have some amazing events that are coming up.
I do.
Are you here in the region?
I am.
You are. So tell us about these events and what's next for you, because you're just on fire.
Oh, yeah. So next week, actually next Saturday, I have an event coming up in D.C. called 5 Keys to Unleashing Your Greatest Potential. And that's on my website, ChristopherRutherford.com. But 5 Keys to Unleashing Your Greatest Potential. What's stopping you from living the life that you desire? What's stopping you from getting to that vision that you see? What's stopping you? Typically, is the people that you're around, the baggage that you're dragging around, not having a plan B. Cheryl, I saved nearly 6 figures. That's how I could leave.
Yeah.
I planned for a break in case of emergency, hoping to never, ever, ever use it. But when it was time to go, I had a plan.
Yes.
So I didn't jump blindly.
Oh, please say that again.
I didn't jump blindly.
If somebody, I don't care who they are, what their level, position, celebrities, I don't care if it's a coach, they tell you, just jump. Look here, you better go find a new coach. Because let me tell you, when mortgage is due and you can't pay it, they are not going to let you come live on their couch and sleep on their couch. When your car note is due and insurance and whatever else, they're not going to be handing you no funds helping you to pay them bills. So you better hold on to that position. And if you're not in a position to walk away. So you got to have some type of exit strategy, right? Okay,
and I had a coach too. So I had somebody outside of myself navigating me through the toughest decision ever, while being just, I always say, are you in a position to make rational decisions right now? If you're stressed out, no. Those are 3 of the 5 keys that we're going to work on. And then at the end of the month, I have a book writing course coming up, writing and publishing your book in 30 days. So it doesn't take much to publish a book. It does take a lot of work, though. Yeah. So I've learned how to, or created a system to publish quality books, not pamphlets.
Are you my sister?
I am.
I kid you not. I just said that on a phone call the other day. I was like, y'all, look, stop writing pamphlets.
Yes.
They were like, how long should the book be? It got to be more than 20 pages.
Yes.
25 pages. That's a pamphlet. That is not a book. Okay, go ahead.
But writing a high quality book that's going to actually serve the people that you want to serve and tell the story. So that's coming up at the end of the month. And again, on my website, ChristyRutherford.com /book course.
Okay, so ChristyRutherford.com, and that's for both events?
Yes, and they go to the events page, and then it'll
Christy,
drop
somebody can
down.
type. Thank you so much, Tanya. Tanya says yes. #exit strategy. Yes. So if you guys could type that in, ChristyRutherford.com /events. ChristyRutherford.com /events, so that you can get in on one of these phenomenal events. You're phenomenal. You are walking in your calling. It's very clear. That's why I love doing this show, because I get to sit with other people who have identified and are boldly walking in their calling and have made the decision to press through every fear and every apprehension and all toxicity, eliminate the toxicity from people around them and their environment to do exactly what you're destined to do to impact the world. Everybody has a unique gift.
Everybody.
Are you using yours? That's the question. Are you using yours to change your life, to impact other people's lives? Like, it is so possible. I just, I got to give a shout out to Raquel Smith. You'll find her on Facebook, and she has, her company is Fabulous in the Kitchen. And I did a private cooking session for my kids. I let them go there and they did the session or whatever. And I was just telling her how amazed I am at her gift. And it's so funny how you can be so in amazement of somebody else's gift, and they can be so in amazement of your gift, but we all got a gift.
Yes.
That's the reality. And the question just is, are you using yours, or are you letting it sit on a shelf and collect dust? And so, as you can hear, Christy allowed herself to use her gift. She made a decision. And it was a hard decision.
Oh, it's crazy.
And you undoubtedly, even though you had some money saved, you still had to make some sacrifices, right? And you still had to make certain decisions and eliminate certain distractions that will prevent you not from just making the jump, but from sustaining the jump.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because anybody can jump.
Yes.
But then you got to go back. No, I don't want to go backwards, because I know what that feels like already. I already know how to do that over there. How do I pursue this path and stay on that path? That's the thing that you always have to make sure that you are tuned into. And a big part of that is having a coach like Christy, having someone who's holding you accountable, having someone who is that the frame while you're the pit. They can, on the outside, they can look in and they can give you the guidance just like her coach gave her. So love the conversation. Love everything that you're doing. Kudos to you, you bad mama jamma. And how do people, again, outside of ChristyRutherford.com /events, how do people connect with you, like on social media and all that good stuff? And any closing words?
The closing words, I would say connection first. ChristieRutherford.com, also Facebook, LinkedIn. My biggest following is on LinkedIn because I like the professional women. I love to talk about winning, Cheryl. And what I know, and this is what you just talked about, was everybody was born to do something great. Yeah. Like Dr. Miles Monroe says, everybody was born to solve a problem for their generation, but the problem is to get a job. And you work on your job at the sacrifice of your calling, and you're not doing the work that you were called to do. Mm-hmm. So we get safe and secure in our stuff, and people are buying the car and the houses and, you know, the purses and decked out in all of these material things, but their soul is dying, and we can see the cracked smile. Yeah. Because once you see what true freedom looks like, you can see it in people's faces. And what you said was, I hear you, but I don't believe you, because a person who's walking in their destiny, or a person who wants to actually do it, their energy is different. Like I'm just going to go get it. So one of the things that I want to leave the viewers with is, you don't have to look for the light. You are the light. You don't have to look for peace. You are peace. You don't have to look for joy. You have joy. You don't have to look for love. You are love. You just forgot. A lot of times people become who life made them. That's not who they are. So are you who you are? Are you who life made you? I became who life made me. Now I'm back to being the fundamental person of who I am. So I really want women to understand that there is somebody waiting within you to be discovered. There is life has buried you. Life has buried your dreams and your light and your peace and your joy. You already have it. Just have to let go of the things that are no longer serving you so you can live in your destiny.
I love it. That's powerful, powerful closing words. And just everything that you said today just resonated in my spirit. And that's why you got to stay around people who are doing what they're called to do, because it's the type of energy that you get. You know, energy is infectious. It is literally like, if you don't want the flu, don't sit next to me. If you don't want this energy, don't sit next to me. Don't come next to me, because you're going to get some of this energy. And the same with Christy, but that only exudes from you when you're doing the thing that you really are called to do. Otherwise, there's always going to be a void. There's something that's going to be missing, and you're going to be trying to figure it out and trying to figure it out. And all it is simple, is that, as you mentioned, that you are not who you are.
Yes.
You are who life has made you. So I love how you frame that, and just keep up the great work. Thank you for being with us. I know y'all were blessed just as much. A.B. Taylor said, "By God, I'm running in my cubicle." Come on now. That's what it'll do for you. Being in the right energy to make you run around in your cubicle. I love it. Thank you guys for being with us. We will be back again next Wednesday. Actually, we are kind of shifting our platform a little bit, because we know a lot of people are watching us during lunch, and so we want to make sure that we keep things in a way where you are able to get all of the juice. So we are actually going to scale back to a 1 hour session so that people can get the full segment versus 2 hours. We know that most people can't hang out with us for a full 2 hours, but we've had an amazing time over the past 8 months doing a 2 hour show. We've had so many dynamic guests. It's been a blessing. A lot of you do hang with us, and we appreciate you hanging with us for the entire show. But starting next Wednesday, we will be here from 12 to 1 instead of 12 to 2. And we'll still bring you juicy folks who are walking in their greatness and impacting the world, but we're going to do it on a little bit more condensed scale so that people can jump in, get that as I call it, the vitamin B or that B12 shot that you need, and keep on about your day. So thanks for being here. We'll see you next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Have a great day.
We have powerful words. We have powerful minds. We use our voices, and freedom takes flight. And we're ready to work. We're ready to win. We have a strategy, and now we can begin. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Now you are a champion. God is my witness. Imperfect perfection. Living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over.